You may have heard that Oak Bay was recently named the second best place to live in all of Canada by moving comparison website Moving Waldo. For those of you that haven't heard of Oak Bay, it's this picturesque suburban coastal community that is on the southernmost tip of Vancouver Island, and it forms part of the Greater Victoria area. Oak Bay is one of our 13 municipalities here in Victoria, and within Oak Bay, there's about 7 different neighborhoods. Now, you might be wondering why this company, Moving Waldo, put Oak Bay near the top of their list. There are so many places in Canada to choose from to live. I actually Googled this. I was curious how many places there are to live in Canada, and Google said there are 5,162 places in Canada that you could choose from between cities, towns, and municipalities. So what makes Oak Bay stand out amongst these? What puts it near the top of this list? Why is it so special? So I hopped onto Moving Waldo's website to see what criteria they were using to rank these best places. Because after all, the best places to live or the best is pretty subjective. Here's what they do. They base their ranking on 3 key criteria: safety, affordability, and quality of life. First up, safety. They analyzed the Crime Severity Index from Stats Canada 2022 records. This index includes everything from criminal code violations to traffic offenses, even to drug violations. Oak Bay boasts a really low crime severity index of 29.18 compared to the national average of 78.1. This is according to 2022 Stats Canada. Oak Bay is considered one of the safest neighborhoods in Victoria, which makes it extra appealing for retirees and young families. Moving on to affordability, which is the second piece of criteria that Moving Waldo used to rank Oak Bay as the second best place to live in all of Canada. They looked at housing and rental costs. They have the average price to rent a 1-bedroom condo in Oak Bay listed as $2,108 a month. And then they say that the average price to purchase real estate in Oak Bay is $685,000. Now, I think they meant to clarify this with the average price of a 1-bedroom condo, because Oak Bay is the most expensive neighborhood on Vancouver Island. But somehow Oak Bay still made it to the second place on this list, despite its incredibly high housing costs. So it must mean that it makes up for it in these other 2 categories. Let's take a glance at some sales data to back this up. There have been 166 sales of single-family homes in Oak Bay in the past year. And if we look at the average sale price of those houses, it is $2,182,000. On average, those houses were on the market for 37 days before selling. Then there were 57 condo sales in Oak Bay in the past year, with an average sale price of $1,015,000. And on average, they were on the market for 28 days. If this all sounds too expensive to you, there are some more affordable options, as there were 13 sales of 1-bed condos in Oak Bay in the past year, and the average sale price of those was $585,000. I think this neighborhood can be a really solid and wise investment if it appeals to you and is within your means. Now, let's talk about the quality of life. Moving Waldo gathered feedback from real people who moved to the area or from their trusted online forums. They look for positive feedback on job opportunities, education quality, healthcare, safety, public transportation, cleanliness, recreational facilities, and parks. Oak Bay checks all of these boxes with incredible beaches, seaside views, walkability, a strong sense of community, a charming village, and stunning heritage homes. Not to mention, it's home to fantastic places like Willows Beach, Cattle Point, and the Victoria Golf Club. A good website that you can use is areavibes.com, and if you enter into the neighborhood that you're thinking about moving to, it will give you a little bit of data. So I entered Oak Bay in, and it gave Oak Bay 88 out of 100 for livability, an A+ for amenities, commute, crime, employment, health and safety, an A for schools, a B- for housing, and an F for cost of living. It shows that there is a population of 18,885 people and that the median age is 53.8. And then if we scroll down to this part, it rates Oak Bay as being 100% family friendly, 100% for yards being well kept, public transit, walkability, lots of parks, walkable to restaurants, safe at night, friendly neighbors, streets have sidewalks, a quiet area, and a sense of community. Not everybody loves Oak Bay. Sometimes people throw the terms around of, oh, those people that live in that rich suburb, or they'll call them a little bit stuffy people that live in Oak Bay. I personally don't find that. I think that people that live in Oak Bay have a really solid sense of community. There's a lot of lovely, lovely people that live in Oak Bay. But they do have a bit of a reputation for being a bit of a stricter neighborhood. I would say people just tend to abide by guidelines and all the municipal rules and regulations in that neighborhood a lot firmer than they maybe do in some other neighborhoods. So if you're someone that's looking to move somewhere who doesn't like to live super rigid within the lines of rules and regulations, then Oak Bay might be a neighborhood you maybe want to stay away from. So there you have it. Oak Bay is definitely not the cheapest neighborhood on Vancouver Island or in Canada by any stretch of the imagination. However, it does offer an incredible quality of life. And so I think that it's worth the price if you can afford to get into that neighborhood. Sometimes in life, you can spend more money on something and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better quality. But I think with the case of Oak Bay, you spend more money and you definitely get a better lifestyle. I'm Ainsley Gower. I'm a local real estate agent here in Victoria. If you are looking to buy or sell here, please feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from you. I would love to help you, and you can find my contact information listed below. Thanks.